in Kingston and simultaneously via Zoom, YouTube, and live stream. Whether you're joining us in person or online, we're truly happy to have you with us this afternoon. My name is David Tullo, Acting Director of the Department of Student Services, and I will be your host for today's session. So, this town hall represents an important space for communication, clarity, and connection. Today, we will share key institutional updates, address academic and administrative matters, reflect on student feedback from fall 2025, and most importantly, hear directly from you, our students. This is a forum built on transparency, respect, and shared responsibility, and we encourage your full engagement throughout the session. Some housekeeping matters before we begin. Just a few things. For those online, please keep your microphones muted unless invited to speak. Use the chat function for Q&As to submit questions during the presentation, and we will have dedicated moments to address your matters. Also, please be respectful and concise so that as many voices as possible can be heard. To ground us, right here at the start, we will now have our invocation. Please join me in welcoming our Student Support Supervisor, Miss Chevelle Hilton, who will lead us in a word of prayer. Miss Hilton, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let us reverence ourselves to pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day. We thank you for life, for health, and for strength. We thank you for yet another day to fellowship with our students and with our administration. As we come together in this setting, we pray that it will go according to the agenda, that all the questions, all the queries will be answered, and that the students themselves will get all the needed guidance that they desire. We pray that you will continue to take control of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean leaders, and that the students will continue to rise and be successful in all their endeavors. As we are gathered here today, we thank you again for everything that you continue to do for us, and we pray that you will take control of the proceedings. In your precious name we pray. Amen. Now over to Mr. David Tullo.
Somehow, Miss Hilton, I felt they already knew that. But thank you anyway, right? It is now my pleasure to invite our president, a leader who continues to guide the university with vision, stability, and academic excellence. Please join me now to welcome Professor Colin Giles, president of the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. Professor Giles.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tullo. Ladies and gentlemen, all, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for our Spring 2026 Town Hall meeting. I'd just like to recognize our Deputy President, Professor Bernadette Warner, our Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Sheila Paul, other members of the management team. I see Mrs. Andrea Wanlis-Leng, our registrar, and others who are joining us online. Welcome, and thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, you, our students, are why we are here. We are here to serve you, and we want to make sure that your voice is heard at all times, because your concerns provide the marching orders for what we do. We are here to provide you a good education, and we want to ensure that you have a seamless journey. And so I want to extend warm greetings to all attendees on this Zoom and live stream, whether you're a member of the administration, faculty, student support team, or alumni, student leaders, or just members of the student body who are pursuing your studies. Whatever connection you have with this great institution, this town hall meeting is for you, because it provides an opportunity for us to share, for us to hear from each other, and to make sure that we are on the same page. So, as would have been mentioned before, the town hall is an important institutional forum that promotes transparency, dialogue, and shared understanding between the students and the university. And so I just want to welcome our new and returning students. You have made the right decision to continue your studies, notwithstanding the challenges of Hurricane Melissa, which disrupted us a bit last semester. I want to emphasize that the town hall highlights and accords with our student-centered philosophy. The session is intentionally structured to address the full spectrum of the student experience. And so you'll be having presentations ranging from academic matters to student services matters to financial matters and all aspects of the student experience. It is within this context that we want to highlight the fact that we are actively in the season of preparation for our institutional re-accreditation visit. We take accreditation very seriously because we recognize that it is by third-party verification of our standards that we are able to promote the value of the certification that you receive from us. And so we pursue international accreditation with the accreditation services for international colleges and universities, ASIC out of the UK, and they visited us last year and we were re-accredited by them. And later this month, we'll be having a re-accreditation visit from the University Council of Jamaica, which is the local quality assurance body. And with this in mind, we are very focused in ensuring that you continue to have the quality service that you deserve, and that we are able to demonstrate to our accreditors that the education that you get when you pass through the walls of the UCC make you fit for purpose. So that is the reason for it. It is for you that you are doing it. So I want to note our commitment to a holistic student experience encompassing academic success, financial guidance, student life, and personal development. Your feedback is very important, and so we encourage you to participate in the town hall meeting by not only listening to the presentations that are being made or will be made, but also taking note and ask your questions. We have a shared responsibility among administration, faculty, staff, and student leadership to ensure that your concerns are addressed. And with that in view, I just want to especially recognize the members of the student leadership body, headed by Mr. Shaomi Stewart, our student union president, student council president, and other members of the executive team of the student leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to also recognize the tireless efforts of the Department of Student Affairs, currently headed by Mr. David Tolo. Thank you so much for organizing this student public forum, town hall, where we can interact together. And I want to recognize the members of the academic team, Professor Sheila Paul, who has played a very significant role in organizing this event as well, and our Deputy President, Professor Bernadette Warner, and other members of the team. Ms. Chevelle Hilton is here also, our student services supervisor. And I also see our online senior director for UCC Online, Ms. Sandra Bloomfield. And of course, I know you would have had some interactions with Ms. Bloomfield, as she's the one who ensures that you're able to access your classes online and have continuity of service. And of course, our registrar, Mrs. Andrea Wanlis-Leng, and members of the finance team. I just want to thank you all for working together to ensure that we are able to provide seamless service to our students on all fronts. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to wish you all a productive, successful, and fulfilling spring 2026 semester. And I just want to officially welcome all participants to this forum, the 2026 Town Hall meeting, which is to set the stage for a very successful semester. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Colin Giles, for that message. I'm glad, Professor, that you mentioned the rest of my team, because I'm not alone, right? They are part of the tireless working as well, and we're very ably guided by the Deputy President, Professor Bernadette Warner, who at this time I'm now going to be welcoming to provide updates on accreditation matters and the process of restarting in spring. Please help me welcome our Deputy President, Professor Bernadette Warner.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tuller, and good afternoon, students, and a very warm welcome to all of you, both in the lecture theater and those of you online. I am really very pleased to recognize our university president, Professor Colin Giles, the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Professor Sheila Paul. We also have with us the University Registrar, Mrs. Andrea Wannis-Leng, the Senior Director for ICT, Ms. Sandra Bloomfield. Of course, our host this evening, Mr. David Tuller, the Acting Director for the Department of Student Services, and the Supervisor for Student Services, Ms. Chevelle Hilton. Also online are the Deans of the UCC, Dean Sonia Davidson, Dean Andrea Sutherland, Dean Peter Ndaja, Dean Lily Tomlinson, a very warm welcome. And some of our other managers are also online. The Quality Assurance Manager, Mrs. Angela Walker-Carby, Manager for Recruitment and Enrollment, Ms. Donna Hunter. And all other members of staff and faculty who have joined us today, a very warm welcome. Let me begin by saying to all of you, may your new year be graced with peace, joy, and blessings. Before I share the accreditation updates, I want to take a moment to specially commend our students, our staff, our faculty, and administrators for the efforts made since the passage of Hurricane Melissa to facilitate the continuation of teaching, learning, and assessment. and to our students in particular for your commitment and dedication to the task of completing your fall 2025 semester. We are truly proud of you. So my task this afternoon is a very short one, focused really on providing you an update regarding accreditation. I will begin with our registration status. Many of you already know this, but I want to make sure that it doesn't fall short of the knowledge of everyone. So please, when we speak of registration, it is important to note that the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean is registered with and recognized by the University Council of Jamaica, the UCJ, which is the official accrediting body for tertiary education in Jamaica as a teaching university. Now, university status was accorded to UCC way back in 2019 by the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission, whose role it is to register tertiary institutions. On the matter of accreditation, the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean is institutionally accredited by the University Council of Jamaica since 2019 as well. And so this accreditation provides the authority to the institution to offer and award the degrees that we do offer all the way now to the doctoral level. Okay. Professor Giles referred to some of our other accrediting agencies, and we are very, very pleased that way back in 2016, we first achieved accreditation institutionally and internationally accredited by the Accreditation Services for International Schools, Colleges, and Universities, ASIC. And on all occasions since 2016 and all the reaccreditation activities with ASIC, we have been deemed as a premier institution with commendable areas of operation in all aspects of the standards. So we are very proud of our ASIC accreditation. This accreditation really helps you, students, and your parents to make informed choices about UCC when you're considering whether to come to UCC or not, because it says to you that we are compliant with best practice, we are compliant with the standards for tertiary institutions, and that the quality of the programs and the delivery of those programs really are fit for purpose. So we are very proud of this accreditation, and I want to share with you also that in 2025, at the annual conference, ASIC conference, which was held in Vietnam in October, UCC received the award of innovation or innovative use of technology in education. So when they visited with UCC back in January 2025 for the verification visit for reaccreditation, they were extremely pleased and impressed with the UCC online service and the other technology used to conduct teaching, learning, and assessment, as well as other university operations. So just an aside, UCC is also the only institution in Jamaica and the Caribbean to be afforded teaching learning center status by the University of London for two programs, a higher education in common law and a Bachelor of Laws degree. And we are very, very proud of a very long-standing partnership with the University of London. So moving on with the updates, it's very important for us now to keep our focus, very, very laser sharp, because not far from now, in a couple of weeks, January 19th to the 23rd, we will be having a verification visit from the University Council of Jamaica. There will be a team of assessors, 5 assessors and 3 representatives from the University Council of Jamaica, who will be visiting for the entire week and will be hosting meetings with almost every staff member at UCC, all the departments, reviewing our key functions, and very importantly, there are several meetings that have been set up for students. Your feedback is extremely important, so there are several meetings, and I'll share that schedule with you momentarily. But please bear in mind that the week of January 19th to the 23rd is a red letter week for us at UCC, where we are going to ensure that our interaction with our assessors from the UCG is one that we are extremely proud of. So this is a schedule. Those of you online might be able to see it much better than those of us in the lecture theater. But these are the dates I would like you to pay attention to, please. So on day 1, there's going to be a very, very important meeting at 3:30 p.m. And please note the times of your meetings. The assessors tend to stay very, very close to the schedule. And so we'll ask you to come at least half an hour ahead of your meeting time so that you're ready and in place. All of these meetings, except where it's indicated an online meeting, really ought to be face-to-face meetings. So the first meeting at 3:30 p.m. on Monday, January 19th, would be a meeting with selected students from the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate programs. And this, the selected students here mean very simply that we want a diverse group representing both full-time students, part-time students, students who are engaged only face-to-face, or students who are engaged only online, across all years, and students also who may have disabilities. So this will be essentially a face-to-face meeting, except where a Zoom invitation is given to persons who may find it very difficult to come face-to-face on campus. We have Ms. Carrie-Ann James and Ms. Williamson, as well as Ms. Pamela Thomas, who will be coordinating and reaching out to you students for your participation. On day 2, January 20th, at 2:30 p.m., there will be the meeting with representatives of the Student Council, and I'm hoping that all members of the Student Council will be present for this meeting, and those of you who are in Kingston, that you will be here in person. Mr. O'Neill Dow is coordinating for the Student Council. At 3 p.m., half an hour later, there will be a virtual meeting. So this one is not going to be face-to-face. There will be a virtual meeting with undergraduate and graduate students across all programs and all modalities for the Ocho Rios campus only. This will be followed at 3:30 p.m. that same day, same afternoon, with a virtual meeting, again with representatives of undergraduate and graduate students across all programs and modalities for the Maypen campus. On day 3, which is Wednesday, January 21st, there will be a meeting with undergraduate and graduate students across all programs and modalities. And this will be a face-to-face meeting for students in Montego Bay at 11:15 a.m. This will be followed later in the afternoon. Sorry, it's not in the afternoon, it's that same morning at 11 a.m. in Mandeville. So on Wednesday, January 21st at 11 a.m., there'll be a meeting with undergraduate and graduate students at the Mandeville campus for half an hour from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and preferably a face-to-face meeting. So what are these meetings about? It's very important for you to understand the scope of the meeting and how you are to interact with the assessors. So this is not a town hall meeting by any means. This is a meeting where you're going to air all your grievances, seek answers and clarification on issues and so on. That you will do today in this meeting. When you face the assessors, you are representing your university and you're going to do that proudly and confidently, okay? I want you, please, not to see that meeting as a meeting to, to air grievances about UCC. That's not the purpose of the meeting. The scope of the meeting, as we see on the screen, is to ensure that you students are enrolled at an institution that is offering you programs and supporting services that allow you to successfully manage through those programs and to graduate successfully and to help you to get the skills and talents that will equip you for the world of work. So it's very important for us to be able to speak about the essential support services that are in place, and this should be spoken about not only for the Kingston campus, but across all the campuses at UCC, all the regional campuses. So what are we talking about? You want to talk about the support services for the admissions function, financial aid, the registration function, orientation, student advising, counseling, tutoring, the tutorials that you would probably enjoy, discipline, health and safety, student organizations and activities, and I know that the student council is very vibrant and lots of activities engage your time here at UCC. Any sort of cultural activities you want to talk about, as well as all the other sporting and extracurricular activities, particularly those that were recently introduced. We were saying yesterday that the display room, when we prepare it for the assessors, will be filled with a lot of new trophies and plaques and so on, earned by the students at UCC because of your engagement in so many activities. So please note that we are not perfect. There are challenges, and you're free to talk about some of the challenges you experience. But I want you in that same sentence, as you close off on what challenges you might be experiencing, to talk about the ways in which we are dealing with those challenges and to offer the recommendations given your experiences here at UCC. So do not leave the assessors wondering, okay, so you've got a problem, what are we doing about it? We are listening to your voices, and for every issue that you raise, we are being very responsive and are very careful to address the matters that you bring to our attention. So please tell the assessors what your experiences are in a very honest way, very positive, very confident, and where you have experienced weaknesses in the process, please be sure to say how these were handled, particularly if you had a very good outcome. So I will leave it at that because I know we have lots of other matters to talk about, and we'll be very ready and willing and able to answer your questions in due course. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Professor Warner, for the clarity and the reassurance. Very much appreciated. So next we turn to academic affairs, and please join me in welcoming Professor Sheila Paul, who will share the importance of academics and academic updates for the spring 2026 semester. Professor Paul.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tallock. Protocol is observed, Mr. President, Madam Deputy President, Registrar, online, my deans, HODs, any faculty, program coordinators. We are all steeped right now in registering you for this semester, completing your registration, and I know you're excited about that. So I want to welcome the new students. And for the new students, I'm saying, welcome here, but I'll be seeing you from Sunday because you'll be in my orientation to university life class. So I'll be there to greet you and to get you started on the right foot. For the continuing students who've already done that course, they can share with you how exciting that course is. So don't miss out on it. Continuing students, we just want to take this time to really applaud your resilience. And you would have received a letter from me yesterday and Mr. Talak yesterday, talking about the fact that our student council, led by Shayomi Stewart and Paul and Dejone and the others, that really took a proactive effort in helping us recover quickly and pivot quickly after Hurricane Melissa. I really want to applaud you guys for doing that. And we embrace that, collaborative effort and spirit. So our Project Reach is in full swing, and we have adopted the motto and the mantra of Journey to the Finish to encourage you to continue to pursue your studies diligently. Diligently. When I say diligently, if you are a full-time student, I'm saying to you, it's 15 to finish. Let's go with that, 15 to finish. 15 credits each semester, and you will finish, and you'll finish quite well. Access the SLB loans. It's a time now where we may be going through a recession. The jobs may not be available after Hurricane Melissa as yet. But if you use this little time between now and the recovery period in the next couple of years to do your studies, I think when those new jobs emerge and those new opportunities emerge, you will be well positioned with your degree, right, to fall right into those places. So I'm encouraging you to keep the momentum, right, and continue to finish your degrees. So I welcome both groups, new students and continuing students, and to remind you that our deans, HODs, program coordinators are all here to support you, as well as our student support services, headed by Mr. Tullock. And I take this opportunity to also congratulate some students who are completing their degrees this semester, right? They will be graduating this semester. So we are excited about that, and we really want to encourage them to go straight into the master's programs, right? Or the doctoral programs. We have a suite of graduate programs now that are encouraged and will prepare you for the future. So I am encouraging you. Don't stop now. Your mantra going forward should be, ain't no stopping us now, right? We got to keep it moving, keep it going, and go straight into your master's degrees. All right. We have just issued a policy, and I know the registrar will probably speak a little bit about it, but since it's an academic policy, I just want to share some ideas about the whole idea of the Latin Awards. And I know it's been causing some angst with some students. So I just want to let you know this. The Latin Awards are distinctive in measuring a couple things, not just one thing. They're distinctive in measuring GPA, which is performance level, persistence, meaning not stopping out for any reason, and of course completion, finishing the degree within the prescribed time frame. That's how you earn a Latin Award. It's an award that you work hard towards and you earn. And schools and universities and colleges establish the criteria for those awards. All right? So as you go, you do searches or whatever research, you may find that different schools use different measures. But what we have said is that our measure for the Latin Awards, we're going to really measure the last 2 years of your performance in a bachelor's degree, right? So that the first 2 years, we know you might be settling in and things may not look so well and you may pass all the courses, but by the third and fourth year, you should have settled down and really working towards completing your degree. So that's when we start the measure, right? So it's the third and fourth year. So if you have a couple of fails in the first 2 years, and I'm not saying to have fails, right? Because we don't accept those either. It's okay. But the third and fourth year is when we begin to measure you for the Latin Awards. Now think about it. If a minimum passing grade at any institution is a C, a distinctive honor can't be a C. It has to be at least one grade level above. Right? So that's the justification for using the B and above for the Latin Awards. So I just wanted to clear that up and make sure it's clear in everybody's mind, the criteria used, and hope that that will settle for you and educate you a little bit more of how Latin Awards are awarded. The other issue that came up was the leave of absence. You know, we have certain situations that may require a leave of absence. Well, that's the challenge about the Latin Awards. Under no circumstances can you take a leave of absence and still qualify. It automatically, I mean, there have been people, and I've known people who've been battling cancer and serious illnesses, and they had to stop out. So they didn't qualify for the Latin Award anymore. And this happens at institutions around the world, right? So I'm coming from that place knowing what it is. So a leave of absence is a choice you make, and when you make that choice, you understanding that I'm already disqualifying myself, okay? So hope that is clear for everybody now, and we can settle down and move ahead and really earn those cum laudes and summa cum laudes and magna cum laudes. Right. But this doesn't take away from, and just to say this doesn't take away from your Dean's List awards. There are other awards that you get. For each semester that you perform well, you might be on the Dean's List. So those awards still exist. This is just distinctive to the Latin Awards. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I want to remind you to complete your registration now. Today is the last day for normal registration. If you have not done so as yet, we are still here and probably will be here until midnight to make sure that you are registered and ready to go on Sunday, right? And I see the SFS team is here, so they are ready to work with us to make sure that it's all done tonight. Academic Council. We have the Academic Council, and I'm sure Mr. Stuart Shoyomi would have shared with you that this is a forum where you can send your grievances, send your concerns, and then we do responses to them right away. And Mr. Stuart, I know you might be online. So the next Academic Council is February 27th. So keep that day for any academic issues you may have, or even if you have concerns about the same Latin Awards or whatever, we can raise those in Academic Council on February 27th. Course evaluations. I'm urging you again, please complete your course evaluations. We use that information to make decisions about improving our courses, improving our course deliveries, and so on and so forth. So please, please fill out the course evaluations. And where evaluations are concerned, I have a little note here. It says, UCC is getting ready to integrate artificial intelligence across its core functions: teaching, research, operations, and student services. And this is to enhance learning, innovation, and institutional effectiveness. Now, you just heard Professor Warner talk about the award we got. So building on that, we are moving in the AI direction, folks. So are you ready, students? There's a survey, and the link will be sent to you that I'd like, it's in the chat right now, so that you can complete that survey to let us know how ready you are for this emerging technology that we are going to be using soon. All right? So I really want to indulge you in completing that survey today so that we can get some results back and really plan to include our students in these exciting ventures coming up. And I think I've covered most of the important things for now. And just want to say I'm looking forward to seeing you next week in my classes, all the new students, and to welcome you and for you to know that our doors are always open. You all know you can access me at any time. Our deans the same thing, our HODs the same thing, and our faculty and our staff. We are all here to support you. Please feel free to call on us, come to us, and we really want you to have a smooth and productive and successful journey this year. So welcome to 2026, and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much, Professor Paul. Notice I'm not looking at any agenda, not doing anything at all. You want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. That link in the chat that was just posted is very important to us. We are serious about AI readiness, and we want you, as part of our stakeholders, to participate. So please just take 2 minutes quickly, go to that link in the chat, fill out that form. Very, very important to us. Yes? Participating? Yes, please. The link is in your chat. Please just go on, fill out that form, and submit it back to us. This is part of your future, so your say is very important. UCC is listening to you. Please fill out that form. And all the other forms that we've sent to you. 10 seconds. 9. Wonderful. So at this time, I'm now going to invite the Senior Supervisor for Student Financial Services, Ms. Roslyn Vassell, to come and update us on student finances and some clarifications that you may have. Ms. Vassell? She is being accompanied by Mrs. Sadine Warner-Malcolm. Might I just add, SFS got some really high evaluation marks from you, the students, so welcome, SFS.
Thank you, Mr. Toller. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. I'm sorry. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. I'm aware that some persons might have already made their payments but are not yet registered. If you are one of such students, I'm asking you to bear with us because we're now doing the registration for all persons who have uploaded their receipts to the system. Okay, so if you're not seeing your registration being done by tomorrow, I'm asking that you give us a call. For students who have not yet paid, and for students who are not aware of the tuition costs, I'm here to give you an update as to what those costs are. Mrs. Sudine Warner-Malcolm is here. She's a senior officer in the Student Financial Services Department, and she'll give you an update now. Go ahead.
For persons registering now, your module costs, one module costs, 3 credit module is $47,000. If you're doing a core module, it's $23,500. If this is your first semester, you're required to pay a miscellaneous fee of $15,000. If you're a returning student and you are in school for fall, that means you would have already paid your miscellaneous fee, so all you're required to pay for the semester is your module cost. If you intend to go on a payment plan for the semester, you're required to pay 30% of your total module costs. Once you have made payment, you forward your receipt to Student Financial Services. We get you registered, set up your payment plan, and you will be all set for classes.
I'll just elaborate a little more on the miscellaneous fee. If you are a new student starting in spring 2026, you're required to pay the $15,000 for your miscellaneous fee. That is a prorated cost. The actual cost for an academic year is $20,000. So when you make a payment of $15,000 now for your miscellaneous fee, it means come September, you'll pay $20,000 so long as the miscellaneous fee remains at that cost. Okay? For the Student Financial Services Department, you can reach us via email at sfs@ucc.edu.jm. The extensions for the Student Financial Services Department are 3978 to 80, 4078, 3920. You can call any of those extensions. The switchboard number, for you to get to those extensions, you need to go through the switchboard. 906-3000. That's the number for the switchboard you call, and you ask to be transferred to Student Financial Services Department. You can also send whatever information you need to know through our email as well. SFS, as I'll emphasize, sfs@ucc.edu.jm. There is a one credit module that students are required to do in their first semester. That cost is $16,000 for the one credit module. That's orientation to university life. I think that pretty much sums up how SFS will be helping you to get registered and to move on to your classes on Sunday. All right, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, SFS team. Very much appreciate it. So now we are going to move on to an update many of you have been waiting for. That's the examination publication for fall 2025. And to bring you this update will be Mr. Antino Russell.
Good afternoon, everyone. So currently, we are still receiving mark sheets and mark scripts from our lecturers. We are about 50%, about 50% of the grades are already published. We are working overtime, trying to get 100% published by, well, it should have been by the end of this week. You know, there are several challenges. Persons from the western side of the island, both lecturers and students have been affected. So, you know, we're trying to work out the kinks. We have a number of issues in terms of submissions, you know, students being able to submit their mark scripts. So that has delayed somewhat the marking process. But we are trying our best to have the grades out in the shortest time possible. We are currently at about 55-60%. By the end of this week, we should be at about 70-75%. We're hoping for 100% at the end of this week. We're still aiming for that. Not sure if we will make the 100% by the end of this week, but we're still trying. You know, at the very least, the grade should be out by next week. All right? Thank you very much.
Students, I know that you are waiting for your grades, that they're working assiduously to restore full updates and full postings as soon as possible. So just bear with us, a lot's been happening. Remember, we kind of shifted a little things academically, no exams, so all those individual papers that would have been group work one time is no longer group work. So as for me, I marked 322 scripts, right? So just bear with us, we are getting to it. Now, before I introduce the next presenter, who will be talking on what I'm about to say, I've just read some stuff in the chat and I just want to quell some things. Do you understand what the Latin Awards represent, right? We do have to look at people, students, who go the extra mile even though they're under and under and under. We don't want it to go without being noticed. It does not mean that you, who probably have taken a leave of absence, who probably had to sit out for a little bit, are not important. You're very, very important. And as Professor Warner mentioned, there are other awards, dean lists. In fact, this coming student award ceremony, we have hundreds of awards that we're giving out. So don't let the Latin award thing confuse you. It's not the only awards that we have at UCC. It's just another category of awards. So we're not trying to be insensitive to tell you that you need to press on and do even though you're under. We are actually just trying to be there with you and meet you at whatever stage you are. So please, please. We don't mean any harm, right? The Latin Awards is just another category of awards. And to now address this, please join me in welcoming our registrar, Mrs. Andrea Wanless-Lang.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so very much for joining us for this town hall session. And as my colleagues spoke about earlier, the Latin Awards. The Latin Awards are, as Dr. Paul indicated, we don't only view your academic performance, we view the time that you completed the program, because there is a timeline consideration, and it also shows your persistence. No breaks, no failures, no leave of absence, nothing of that sort. When we take into that's what we take into consideration when we determine if a person is qualified for the Latin Awards. So just as an overview, please remember that the Latin Award is a prestigious academic award of distinction recognizing outstanding students at the undergraduate level. So that is why we keep reiterating your GPA must be at a level of a B or higher, and you need to complete the program without breaks within the stipulated timeline, and you also must, the persistence that we talk about is no failures during this, to be qualified for these Latin Awards. There is a minimum credit. I'm just doing an overview of the policy. So there's a minimum credit requirement. You must, if you're transferring from one institution into the UCC, you must do at least 50% of the total numbers of credits with the UCC. And just to remind you, all final grades must be at least a B and above. I'm going to keep saying this, the completion timeline. And you cannot have repeats or resits or have taken a leave of absence to qualify for these Latin Awards. But we are talking about students at the bachelor's degree level. For those persons in higher education, master's and doctoral program, you also will be recognized, not with a Latin Award, but you also will be recognized for your academic performance, and that information is listed in the policy, where you will receive distinctions and honors and credits. And for the doctoral program, if you're at 3.75 and above, you will be awarded a high commendation for your program. Persons who are doing the associate level, you will not qualify for the Latin Award, but that does not mean that you will not be recognized for your performance during your tenure at UCC. Please be reminded that the Latin Award is a honor that is presented by the UCC for academic excellence and hard work, sacrifice, perseverance that you demonstrate throughout your tenure at UCC. So I just want to allay some fears. Persons I know in the chat
are asking about what if I've taken a leave of absence? Yes, these are the things that happen in life. You take a leave of absence, you might fail a course. You will still be awarded a academic level award, but it will not be a Latin award. A Latin award is a different honor that is bestowed by the UCC. Mr. Tolo, are there any questions or concerns? Or I hope I have shared the information that persons in the chat are asking. Oh, why they, okay. So just to remind you that the Latin Awards are awarded to students not only for academic performance, it is awarded for your completion timeline and for your persistence, meaning that you take no breaks, no resits, no repeats. It's just as it says, academic excellence and other criteria. So while I have your undivided attention, from the registry department, I just want to remind all our students, especially our new students and returning students, if there are matters that are outstanding in terms of documents that you need to submit to the registry department, you are being reminded that we require certified documents for our purposes, records management purposes. So please remember, if you received your package and you were asked to submit certified documents, even though it may be an original birth certificate or it may be an original CXC certificate, we need to certify and verify that we have received that document from you. So what that means is that you can either ask a justice of the peace or a notary public to certify those documents for you, and you can just send them to us via email. If that is not available for you, you can bring in the original documents that you have, and we will certify having seen the original at any one of our campuses. Additionally, if you are a transfer student and you want us to evaluate a transcript, we need to have an official transcript from the previous institution coming into us so that we can do the evaluations. So even though you may have submitted your preliminary slips when you came in, please be reminded that we need to see your original CXC, or you may request a transcript from the CXC office and ask them to send it to us in the registry, or you may submit them at any of our UCC campuses. For persons who are having issues with logging into Aeorion or any other challenges that you may have, please feel free to reach out to us in the registry. We will be more than happy to assist you in that regard. And remember, if you need letters, if you need transcripts, you make your request to the registry using an official document request form, and the guide is there that will indicate the different fees that we charge for these services, and you send in your request to the registry and we will prepare those documents on your behalf. So if there is no other question or concern, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Wan Lisling. Now, At UCC, we often say that students are at the center of everything we do. But today is not about slogans, right? Today is about listening, accountability, and action. The Fall 2025 Student Satisfaction Survey gave us something invaluable: honest, unfiltered student voices, and I want to thank every student who took the time to participate. Even when the feedback is difficult to hear, it is necessary to hear it. Your feedback confirms something very important, that students care deeply about their UCC experience, and that level of engagement is a strength of this institution. So while there are areas requiring improvement, I want to say upfront that the feedback also shows resilience, appreciation, and recognition of effort, particularly in the face of a challenging semester shaped by Hurricane Melissa. So the level of participation itself is encouraging. We had 72.5% of respondents were from the School of Business, Entrepreneurship and Management, 15% from the School of Behavioral Sciences, Humanities and Law, 7.5% from the School of Mathematics, Science and Technology. Now, there was also a wide cross-section that tells us that students across campuses and locations are engaged and invested in the university's progress. When asked about their overall UCC experience, responses reflected a mixed but constructive perspective. Students acknowledged the students' effort to maintain continuity, the impact of external disruptions, and in many cases described as okay, challenging, but improving. And this tells us that while frustrations exist, confidence in UCC has not been lost. So I want to pause here and highlight the positives, especially as they relate to the Department of Student Services. Students recognized that the visibility and accessibility of student services during a difficult semester, continued town halls and feedback from forums, support provided around mental health and student welfare, and individual staff members who consistently demonstrate a strong service ethic. Now, one student specifically noted that the value of staff who truly understand their role is to serve students, and that matters. So despite the volume of concern shared, it's important to say this clearly. Student Services remains committed to our students, and we're committed to strengthening that even further. Now, you, the student, said, and you were honest about your areas of frustration, particularly grade publication timelines, communication delays, accessibility of departments by phone or email, and clarity around policies and awards. So these concerns were not raised in isolation, nor were they dismissive. They became from students who want the institution to function better, not abandon it. So importantly, many students acknowledge Hurricane Melissa as a significant disruptor, but also expressed a desire for stronger contingency planning and communication. So even amidst the frustration, students noted appreciation for continued academic delivery, efforts to restart and stabilize the semester, willingness by leadership to engage publicly, and the fact that student feedback is being discussed openly in forums like this town hall. That matters. Transparency builds trust. So our approach is not to dismantle systems that function, but to refine, reinforce, and improve them. So we want to strengthen the grade publication and communication. So where we're going to have clear pre-published grade timelines per semester, improved coordination between academic affairs, exams, and the registry, and earlier communication of coursework grades where possible. Better student guidance on what to expect during these particular disruptions. Enhancing the DSS service delivery. DSS will continue to serve as a bridge between students and academic units. More structured tracking of student queries to ensure closure, expanded student engagement forums beyond town halls, and continued advocacy for student welfare at senior leadership level. We also want to improve student financial services access, increase transparency through area and account visibility. Now, let me explain why that is being delayed a little bit. We're currently exploring other CRM units, other LSM units, other AI-generated units that will make your experience more seamless when handling things like Ariane, Moodle, and and others. So more proactive financial advisement and clearer communication on scholarships, waivers, and support options. A lot of you mentioned that. We are going to address it. Also, the academic experience improvements, better lecture monitoring and support, increased academic advising, especially for early year students, and thoughtful expansion of delivery modes, face-to-face, online, and the weekend options. We are not ignoring your voices. We hear you. We may not always move as fast as you want, but we must move better. Your feedback is shaping decisions, adjustments, and reforms right now. The Department of Student Services remains fully committed to listening, advocating, and ensuring students are supported academically, emotionally, and administratively. At this time, a town hall is incomplete without hearing from student leadership. Please welcome Mr. Shaomi Stewart, representing the Student Council, who will share feedback and perspectives from the student body. Thank you. Okay, before we take Mr. Stewart, we're going to invite again Professor Paul and Mrs. Andrea Wanlislang to tackle some of the questions that you've been asking in the question and answers.
Okay, students. You see, that's why I like these things face to face, so that we can have that, real life talk. Okay. So some of the questions had to do with the examinations. If you take an alternate exam or resit, all of those are not considered the same as the exam that's scheduled for the time that is supposed to be taken. All right? So those will fall in the same category for the alternate exam. When is the honor award changing? It has already changed. The policy is in place and it's effective as of now. I am inquiring about the Latin Awards for ASC students. We just said that associate's degrees don't do Latin Awards.
But you will still.
But you can get Dean's List and those other awards, right? Right. Distinction, right, pass, credit, right.
That will still be reflected on your record.
You'll have to understand how this thing works. I wasn't able to complete the spring examination. Right, migration-related circumstances. Again, these are personal issues, and if we keep doing this and taking everybody's personal situation to determine what the Latin Awards is, then we're not going to get anywhere as an institution. Remember, folks, we are a university. We are not a community college. We are not a teaching college, a college, what do they call it before? University college. We are now a full-fledged university. So we have to have the bar raised to make sure that we are making the requirements for and the expectations for full-fledged university status. The other thing is that, remember, this is a private institution. And private institutions are held to higher standards than our public institutions. That's a given across the world. All right? So we have to set, and that's why they call private institutions Ivy Leagues. That's why when you get a degree from UCC, employers grab you because they know you're coming with something of quality, right? So you don't want to dumb it down or lower the bar to meet other institutions that are public institutions or otherwise, just to stay on track with certain requirements. You want to establish standards that will stand the test of time and that will be fit for purpose anywhere in the world. We have international accreditation, folks. We did not get that just like that. It's because of our high academic standards. So you have to understand how this works. So your degree from UCC speaks volumes. And that's why employers prefer to hire somebody from UCC as opposed to any other institution. Okay? So these are the expectations. Universities set their expectations. They set what their grade point average is, what their rules are for grading, and those kinds of things. And it's not that we don't encourage student input, but we cannot address every concern of every student to make rules and expectations. We have to do best practices. We have to do what's current best practices, what will stand the test of time, so that your degree is worth something. All right? So that's why we have the standards that we have. And if you look at other institutions across the world, you will see what I'm talking about.
And the Latin Award is not only for new students, it's also for returning students. Remember that at year 3 and year 4, whether you are a transfer student or you have been here from year 1, if you have been here from year 1, you are still able to qualify for a Latin Award. And I also want to say, yes, the Latin Award is just one of the recognition that we give at UCC. There are other academic there are other academic awards that we offer, Dean's Awards, President's Awards, and there are also other levels, distinction, honors, credits, and pass. It's just that if you don't match up to the specific criteria for the Latin Award, you will not be eligible for the Latin Award, but you will be eligible for the other academic awards.
All right. There's another question here about uploading assignments in Moodle and having challenges with that. Well, for this semester especially, I know that we were allowing students to upload even after exam deadlines, all right? All you had to do was to reach out to us, tell us where you were, send us a snapshot of, where you got stuck, and we will allow you to upload your things. We weren't very, stringent on exam rules, with deadlines and dates and stuff like that this semester. So you really had every opportunity to do well this semester, every opportunity. So nobody should be fussing about, not having uploaded or being able to upload their assignment, because we gave extra time for everything. And you will still reach out to your deans and your faculty to see where you are and make sure you get your assignments in. Okay. Yeah, flexible scheduling remains part of what we do at UCC. All right? I know you are concerned about us, changing our scheduling system. No, our scheduling remains the same. We have early bird, we have day classes, we have online asynchronous, we have online synchronous. The options are still there. And that's what sets us apart. All right? So we'll have that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we'll have more time in which we can, have more discussions and face-to-face. And you can, schedule small group meetings if you'd like to do that with us. Professor Warner, while she's here, myself, and Mrs. Wallace Lang, we could always have small group meetings to allay some of the fears that you may have. But think about it. You are at the best place that you could ever want to be. All right? You have the best team behind you. So let's get this done. All right? Let's get this done.
And please feel free, if you can't come in, send us an email. And we will definitely respond to you.
Exactly. But thank you guys for your feedback. It's been an honor serving you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies. Really appreciated that. And our students, of course, always welcomes the reassurance. So, as promised, Mr. Show Me Student, representing the Student Council, will be sharing feedback and perspectives from the student body. All right. There seemed to be a little bit of technical difficulty there. I'm not sure where Mr. Stewart is right now, but his Wi-Fi is probably unstable. I do want to also take this opportunity, though, to let you know that there'll be a virtual session tomorrow online with just SFS, only to register you. So please look out from the email from us here at Student Affairs. It will have the link and the time. You can always log on just to get your registration going with SFS only, right? So that's to complete your registration with SFS only. So as we bring today's town hall to a close, I want to sincerely thank our university leadership, administrative teams, student representatives, and most importantly, you, our students, for your participation and trust. Your engagement strengthens our institution, and together we remain committed to excellence, accountability, and student success. Have a productive and successful spring 2026. Thank you.